Hey folks, it's August and it's hot, but Genesis 8:22 says, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, day and night shall not cease. And I'm expecting the earth to last at least another 6 months. So now's the time to prepare for the cold winter. Now, the reason why you'd want to prepare for the cold winter 6 months ahead of time is because wood burns a lot better when it's dry. And it's not dry when it's still a living tree. A living tree may have 50% of its weight as water, and it won't burn very well while it's still green. Also, trees grow a lot bigger than the pieces of firewood that might fit inside of your wood-burning stove or your fireplace. So, the two main reasons for splitting firewood are to make it small enough to fit into your firebox and so that it will dry faster, because this bark is designed to keep moisture inside of a tree. So once we open that up, it'll dry a lot faster. Now, do you need a powered wood splitter, meaning a gas-powered or hydraulic-powered wood splitter? In most cases, I'd say the answer is no. If you're like me and you live in a fairly warm climate, I'm here in the United States southeastern region, I might not burn more than 1 cord of firewood per winter. 1 cord is a unit that's 4 feet by 4 feet by 8 feet long. And I can split enough firewood with this maul here quick enough that I really don't need to buy or maintain a gas-powered wood splitter. Now this maul, this is an 8-pound splitting maul. It came from Lowe's several years ago. You can get a similar one for between $30 and $40. Harbor Freight has one, I think is 6 pounds for about $28. You don't need anything fancy. You don't want one that's 12 pounds because that'll wear you out. You don't want an axe. This is not an axe. This is a maul, M-A-U-L. It's not very sharp. If it's very sharp, it'll get stuck in the wood as you try to split it. These big chunks can really hold an axe tightly. If you stick a sharp, thin axe in there, you don't want that. You don't want the thing getting stuck all the time. That's a lot of trouble. So you want a splitting maul. You may also want a wedge, which is very similar to the head of this maul. It's just got no handle on it. You can put a wedge here and beat it into a stubborn block of wood. I haven't used a wedge recently because I can split enough wood just with the maul by itself, and that goes quite a bit faster. Now, when you're splitting firewood and moving firewood, you want to be as efficient as possible, especially when you're using hand labor, because this stuff is heavy and it's enough work to handle it once. You don't want to handle it extra times. So what I'm doing here is I've got my load of firewood that's right here on my trailer. I cut a tree down for somebody and hauled it away, so the wood is here on my trailer. What I'm going to do is split it right here very close to my trailer and then immediately stack it on a pallet. And I've got a skid steer with forks that I can use to move this pallet. So I'll cover this pallet, keep the rain off of it until wintertime when I want to burn the firewood, and then when wintertime comes, I can pick up the whole pallet, carry it close to my house, and have it right outside the door to be carried inside to the fireplace. Now when you split firewood, the difficulty of splitting depends on several things. It depends on the species of wood, it depends on the straightness of the grain of the wood, it depends on whether the wood is still green or whether it's had a lot of time to dry already. It depends on the size of the block. So those are a lot of things to learn that you'll learn with experience. The straightness of the grain and the species are the two main factors determining how hard it is to split wood. This is water oak. All this wood is here. Most oak species are fairly easy to split if the grain is straight. So here's a piece that's fairly straight grain. It's not, it doesn't have a limb coming off of it. It does begin to be a fork right here, so that'll make it a little harder. But this one will not be too hard to split. Now here's a little bit of a crack across the middle. And right across the middle is usually the easiest place to start splitting a block of wood. And you want to find, if it's got a crack in it already, that's a good place to try to hit it and start a split down through the middle. Now you, like I said, you want to go right across the middle. If you don't go right across the middle, it may be quite a bit harder to get the first split to go through there. Now, I'll show you how it's done. So that's one hit, and I hit it in the middle, and it's got a good crack started. Now I've got to try to hit that crack again, and I did it. So that one's not too bad, and this goes pretty quick. This old pallet here, I've stacked it up in just a couple hours, and that may be half of what I need for the whole winter. So, like I said, it's really fairly hard to justify spending the money on a gas-powered wood splitter if you don't already have one, or if you're not planning to produce a lot of firewood for sale. Now, here is a block that I partially split. It was a place where the tree forked, and these places where the grain is not straight are a lot harder to split effectively. So I just split off the straighter grained parts of this block, and I've set it aside. And if I've got plenty of firewood without having to split this one, that's okay. I might just leave this one out, burn it in a pile outside, or even let it rot. We've got plenty of trees here in the southeast, and there's no need to spend a lot more effort to have to split that block when I've got plenty of wood that's straight grained and easy enough to split. Wintertime's coming. Time to get to work.